Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here this morning with us. I would like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of these lands, the Turrbal and Yagara people. I pay my respect to their elders, both past, present, and emerging, and recognize that these lands have always been places of collaboration and learning. I also extend respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people here today. We are here today with Surija Gupta and Ini So from ThoughtWorks. They're going to share with us and introduce everyone to the wearable technologies. They had the same workshop in Grace Hopper 2017 in Orlando, and now they wanted to bring it in Australia. It's a privilege. Few housekeeping rules before we go. So the exits in case of emergency are where you came from. The bathrooms are if you go out, straight up the stairs on the left side. And we need to empty the room after the session. And Surija and Ini will be around for questions outside if you have any questions after. Please join me to welcome Surija and Ini.
Thank you, everyone. Can you all hear me? Yes. Thanks for coming to the first workshop of the day on the second day. It's so good to see you all. Are you excited? Yay! Okay, great. We had a limited attendance that we could support here because we wanted each of you to take a bag home, so I'm really glad you could all make it. Let's get started. So that's me. I'm Srija. That's my Twitter handle. I'm a software developer at ThoughtWorks Sydney. I have always been an electronics hobbyist. I've played around so much with electronics in my spare time because that's how I express myself creatively through code. And I hope you all can too in this workshop. We've run this same workshop at Grace Hopper 17 to a huge audience, and we got a lot of feedback from it, so we'd like to play it here with all of you and get your feedback too. And I love creative coding, art, and teaching. And this is Ini.
Yep. So that's me, and that's actually a photo of us playing with conductive paint. It's our first time playing with conductive paint, and that's where we started to talk about doing the second version of the workshop that we did in
that was a really good coffee too.
Yeah, like very hipster.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I work in ThoughtWorks. I'm actually an infrastructure consultant. Interesting enough, I started as a software developer ages ago, and then for some reason, I switched to infrastructure, something that I never thought that I'm able to do. And now today I'm working with automation and cloud a lot. Side hobby, Srija introduced me to this world of IoT, and I'm a very crazy mechanical keyboard person. So if you want to talk about it or solder some, if you have it here, I'm more than happy to do it.
Thanks, Ini. So, I'll take you folks through the agenda of the workshop. First is the introduction. We'll walk you through the circuit that you're going to be working on, which is right in front of you. Then you'll have a setup step. Use your own laptops with a USB port. Hopefully your charge situation is good and it's not going to die on you. Partner up if you want to chat with the person next to you. Always recommend that, and if you want to work through the steps together. Our target audience is beginner and intermediate coders, so I'm hoping you're all comfortable with if statements and while loops. If not, feel free to again partner up. And then we start coding, and I'll take you through all the timed steps. It's like a 10-minute step, a 15-minute step. And the last one, you get to just be creative and go wild. We're not telling you how to program your toad, we're just telling you what you can do to get to there. Raise your hand if you need help, and the volunteers will attract us from wherever we are. At the end, we'll give you some resources so you can keep creatively coding, some meetups you can go to in this area. Feel free to do your research. Feel free to walk around with your totes. I recommend go to the career fair, pick up stickers, slap them on, walk around with your totes, and keep working on your projects. So here we go. This is the circuit you're working on. I will take you through it real quick, but you also read it in the wiki that we'll share. The photocell sensor on top tells you how light or dark it is in this room, which means your smart toad is smart in the sense that it can tell how light or dark it is. So you can light up the LED that's attached to the other end, according to how light or dark it is. What do you want to do? Up to you. Maybe the LED changes brightness, maybe the LED flashes intense colors when it gets really dark. Completely up to you, throwing the challenge to you. One thing I will say is these circuits have traveled a long way, so some of them might have loose connections. Raise your hand if that happens. This will be a learning moment for all of us. Hardware goes wrong, we'll roll with it. So if some of you have circuits that are faulty, we can try our best to fix it, and if not, we can even take it back with us and make sure you end up getting a functional one down the line. Like, we'll send you one, we'll figure it out. Yeah, so you are going to make your tote bag light up when it gets dim. We will be using Python, very basic Python, and the Python runs on that little computer in the middle, which is reading the sensor and then outputting to the LED and making it light up. That's what it looks like. That was me making it. We don't have a demo because we've given you all our smart totes. You will see some GIFs in the wiki that you start opening up. Who's excited? Yay! Let's get started. That's the wiki there. So get on the conference Wi-Fi and jump on that wiki page. You should hit a home page, which you can read really quickly. It's nothing you don't know already. And then get started on the setup. I will keep calling out the time. And I'll make sure you're all on time as you go. To this slide, which says you would ideally be in your setup stage right now. And I'll have a timer for 10 minutes, and then we'll progress to the next one. Yes, but I'm also going back to the wiki URL. Raise your hands if you need help. You'll notice no wires on your circuit because it's conductive tape, which I thought was cool. If anyone's having trouble connecting to the Wi-Fi internet, I just fired up my hotspot. It's called Srija, and the password is password. Little p, little a, etc. Enjoy. I just started a hotspot if you want faster internet. The hotspot is Srija, S-R-E-E-J-A, and the password is password. Ini's also got a modem hotspot that she can share the password of with you as well. So raise your hand if you need better internet. She'll come around, which is not my hotspot. Can I get a quick show of hands of where people are at? Who's finished setup? Okay. All right, let's keep going. Downloading setup. Okay, yeah, okay. If the instruction says find the file main.py and you find a file called code.py, that's fine. Just open code.py. Main, code, who knows? At this stage, ideally you would be on step 1 and you'd maybe spend 5 minutes on it. And just make sure every time you make a change in the code, you hit save, control save. Every time you make a change. Or mash the save button on your editor. Can I get a show of hands if people are on step 2? Step 2, cool, yep. Ideally, and who's on step 1? Step 1, who's on setup? Yep, okay, yep, that's good. Around this time would be step 2, but don't worry if you're not. I know we've had internet and setup issues, but that's okay. You get to take this back home. I'll set another 10-minute timer. So at this point, I'll move on to step 3, which you have 15 minutes to do. But just a quick show of hands, who's on setup? Who's on step 1? Who's on step 2? Cool. And who started step 3? Excellent. Thank you. Keep going. And continue to raise your hands. Apologies for the hardware issues. As I was saying, if you give us your emails, we will send you a proper circuit. So who's gotten step 3 running? That's great. Anyone want to share how they enable their circuit and what colors they chose? So feel free to try creative ways to measure how dark it is and output fun colors. If anyone wants to share with the room what they've done, raise your hands. Great. All right, folks, I'm going to call it because we have 3 minutes left. How many of you got it working? That's great. Feel free to use the stickers on your table and decorate it. Go to the career fair, add more stickers to it, start painting on it, get creative. We'd love to take you through what's next for you. So for a lot of you, it worked and it looks amazing and you've done some very creative things with your tote bags and we want you to continue. For the few of you who had a small connection issue against the LED, give us your emails. We will make you a hardier circuit that will survive a flight and send you a tote bag so you can keep continuing. The idea was that you use your knowledge of code to make something fun and exciting and a little silly. And I hope, and I see a lot of you have done it and it's amazing to see. So thank you for being here. What's next for you is we would love you to take these tote bags and similar circuits to meetups and study groups. Make your own study groups. Figure out all the tutorials we've added in your references and in your wiki. Start playing with them, tinkering with them. You now have a microcontroller to play with. I had a quick look at Brisbane because I figured most of you would be from Brisbane. We're from Sydney, but there seems to be an Internet of Things interest group. So I would love to see some of you take it to that meetup and do a talk. Just saying. There's also Women Who Code, which I personally have been a part of and I love, and the Python user group. Any of them would love to see you talk about CircuitPython and the Gemma. So go for it. Go for it. I will be cheering you from the sidelines. Then we have the challenges in the wiki. So we want you to decorate your tote bag, share your totes, and share your projects online. And also start your own project. Right? So we've got CircuitPython and Gemma M0 docs there, and we'll share these slides around, and a bunch of tutorials for you. You have all the hardware now, so go wild. We also have batteries, if you want to make it wireless, with a limited number up front, and it's just a matter of connecting it up and then walking around. You might want to use a sticker to stick your battery down, because it flops a little. But yeah, just next to Inni there is a red bag with maybe 20 or 30 batteries. So help yourselves.
Yeah, just be careful with the battery. As in, don't punch hole, they will explode. They are batteries. So,
they're lithium poly batteries.
Yeah,
They're
so
nothing
just
to laugh at.
be careful. Yep.
Yeah. And that's it. I hope you folks had fun.
And thank you, and another round of applause for Sarija and Inni for the